Welcome to Caleb's Basketball Pod, episode 166. We have a lot to cover as what's been going on in the NBA for the last week, I should say. But I just want to start talking about some teams. I want to talk about early surprises. So with that, I want to go to the top two teams in the Eastern Conference right now. Currently at number one is the Detroit Pistons. Currently at number two is the Chicago Bulls. A lot can happen. The season's still early. So all of this team's a contender, that team's a contender. We don't know any of that until at least we're 20-some games into the season. If you're 20-some games in the season and these guys are still in the top five in the East, yes, there is a chance they're a contending team in the Eastern Conference. But I do want to give praise to both of these squads. First off, Detroit. We've seen a lot from Detroit. We saw how J.B. Bickerstaff changed the culture in Detroit. We saw in 1 year's difference just how much better of a team they were. We've seen them make the playoffs as a sixth seed and go against the New York Knicks and take them nearly to their limit in the first round of the playoffs last season. Very good series. Cade Cunningham, in my opinion, showed out. Maybe should have been a little bit more selfish at times, but that's something he'll learn as he starts playing. And I just think Cade Cunningham is a future superstar in this league. That guy is so good. He's just so good at getting the ball where it needs to go, getting to his spots, making his teammates better. I see Cade Cunningham most definitely as a future star. But with that said, Detroit's schedule has been a little bit easier as of late. They've had a lot of very winnable games, that in credit to them, because there's one thing to say they're winnable games, but to go out and win those games, props to Detroit. So I want to start with that. Secondly, I think they would benefit from more shooting. They are scoring and they're finding ways to score. I think they would benefit from a little bit more shooting. But Cade Cunningham's doing a great job with what he has around him and what he's working with. And now let's switch to the Bulls. Do I think the Bulls have a chance to be a real deal in the East? With the way they're playing right now, yes. But we need to see how they look when Coby White comes back. We see that they're a very, very good team as of right now, but how does that change when Coby White's playing and the ball's not in? So how does that work when the ball is not in Josh Giddey's hand as much, and now he has to share the rock with Coby White more so? I think the ball movement stops. What I don't want to see for Chicago is I don't want to see them getting into ISOs with Coby White or kind of a fight between who gets the ball, Giddey and White. Because I think with the way the offense is right now, it's a lot more free-flowing and free-moving. And because of that, we're seeing just the best that Chicago can offer. They have a young team. We're seeing them get out in transition, get easy baskets. We're seeing them get a lot of three-pointers up, but good looks at threes. Chicago shot a lot of threes last season, but they were not good looks at threes. We're seeing their defense hype up and change. We saw them get a 24-point comeback on the Philadelphia 76ers. Right now, the Bulls look like they could be the real deal, but I want to see how they look in 20-some games. Give me maybe 25 games, and if they're still a top 6 team in the East, then I'm going to say they're going to miss for play-in, because I think that shows growth and it shows that they're there. But are they there yet? That's what everybody's waiting to see. I like what I'm seeing from them, but something else you have to think about is how is it when things change? So at the start of the season, everybody voted for Bulls and said, oh, it's just for Bulls. We've beat them last season. We dominated them last season. Now they catch you by surprise. They're sitting at 6-2, 6-3. No, something like that. Right now, I believe 6-2. How does that change when they play a really good team that expects that the Bulls are going to be the Bulls? They expect that they're playing this style of basketball, because we're starting to see them take a couple of losses here and there that we did see before. We see them lose to the Knicks, the Bucks. Teams are starting to take them serious, and that's what we have to watch. That's what you have to watch if you're the Bulls. is, can you keep winning when teams are taking you serious? You were winning when they were looking at you and kind of laughing you off, but now teams are taking you like you're a contender out east. So it's very interesting seeing. I can't wait to see where this goes for them, and I think they do have a bright future. Looking over at the west side, we saw Portland beat the Thunder, and there's a million excuses for the Oklahoma City Thunder. But the fact is, and this is the fact we have to go with, the Portland Trailblazers outplayed them. It doesn't matter who's playing, who's not. It's always next man up in the NBA. And that's the way it is for everyone. And you have a championship caliber roster. And to be honest, you're fine. You're good. You took one loss. But sometimes you need to see how that loss feels to regain momentum, confidence, focus. And that's what they did. And we saw them blow out the Sacramento Kings last night, which I believe everybody expected. But they're getting to that Thunder style. And we still haven't even seen Jalen Williams play. There's no doubt in my mind the Thunders were very much so early favorites to repeat as champions. But if you want maybe the biggest challenge, look in the Western Conference. Look at the Denver Nuggets. Is that Denver Nuggets squad? They are just playing basketball the way it's meant to be played. The ball goes through Jokic. Jamal Murray is on right now. The supporting cast for role players, Aaron Gordon's took a huge step this season that I don't think a lot of people even knew was possible for him to take the step he did, but he did. And then Cam Johnson, we haven't seen the best games from him, but he's still getting used to this style. You have Tim Hardaway Jr. coming off of a bench. You have a good squad in Denver. You got Bruce Brown back again. It's looking like a really good team. They're going to be a fight out west. Another team that's going to be a fight out west is the Los Angeles Lakers. We see LeBron is nearing a return. He's cleared for basketball activity. He'll be reevaluated in a week or two. And we're always seeing the Luka Doncic show. I don't think that changes even when LeBron comes back, so it'll be fun to see where LeBron fits in. But the biggest question is, when healthy, where does Reeves fit in with LeBron and Luka? And if we can figure that out, which to be honest, I have no doubt they will, because JJ Redick, his schemes, his plans, everything that he's done in LA, coaching-wise, in my opinion, has just been genius. And he's a basketball genius. His IQ for the game is out of this world, and people don't even know because we haven't even seen the full IQ tapped. If you listen to Old Man in the 3 when he did it, his podcast, you heard everything you need to know about how smart JJ Redick is with basketball and why it took so long after he retired for someone to say, hey, you should be a head coach. It doesn't make sense, but we know how smart he is. We know that the Lakers have an opportunity, and just making it in the playoffs with LeBron and Luka gives you a chance to beat anyone. If you're a high seed and you make the playoffs out west, yeah, Thunder has some competition out there. Another team that, in my opinion, is just disappointing so far. A couple teams, they would be out east. It would be Atlanta and Orlando. Atlanta, we know they're going through Trae Young injury issues, and he'll be out for about 4 weeks. But the problem with that is there is the injury issues, yes. But before he got injured, Atlanta just didn't look like how they should. The talent on that roster, the young guys, the length, everything, the size, all of that, they should be a top team in the Eastern Conference. They should have been taking the growth that the Chicago Bulls are taking. But the Bulls are taking that and they're running with it, as well the Hawks. They're kind of just, I don't know, they're falling down. And it would surprise me if we don't see a Trae Young trade before this season's even over. Another team that's disappointing is the Orlando Magic. I am surprised by this because they have all the tools to be a top team out east. And maybe they still will be, but just the way they play basketball and offense still looks like a struggle. And I'm not sure who that's on. I don't want to say that's on coaching. I want to say maybe it's just on guys not being used to their roles that they should be in. And unfortunately, Paolo hasn't took that step that we all thought he was taking last season at the beginning of the season. He has not played like he did last year. Maybe there's some nagging injuries we don't know about. Maybe he's not being as aggressive as he needs to. Maybe he's trying to get Wagner or Bane going, and he's not being as selfish as he should. But I really thought Paolo was taking step to be a next superstar, and it looks like he's regressing a little bit. Just a little bit right now, and that may be an issue for Orlando. To be the best Magic team, I think we need to see Paolo take the next step in that direction forward and see just how good this Magic team can become. But until that happens, I think we're going to still be looking and questioning what type of team are the Magic. Do we start to rebuild? Do we start going for a championship? Because right now, they just look like an in-between team. And the sad part is they're falling closer to looking like a rebuild team than a championship team. And that's not what we want. And like I said, still early on, so you can't judge teams yet. But I want to see more intensity offensively, defensively, pick up the pace a little bit, get guys going, you don't have great shooters in Orlando besides Bane. Because of that, you need to mask that, and in my opinion, masking it, you need to get stops, get out in transition, score easy baskets, build guys' confidence, start getting open threes, and move the ball around and make shots like that. Until they do that, I don't think they will reach their full potential because you need more shooting in Orlando. Anyway, I want to thank you guys for watching and tuning in. And I'll be back in a couple days, but stay watching this very interesting NBA season so far.